coaching specialist known as Stephanie White. Well, she shut down the New York Liberty to the tune of just under 100 damn points tonight, as the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark got completely
That was an
smoked.
ugly game. That was a very ugly game. But what did you expect? The second night of a back-to-back, Caitlin Clark's not playing. Caitlin Clark's the entire motor of this team. Did you think they were going to beat the New York Liberty? I didn't expect them to win that game. Now, there have been times where I've went into games where I've expected the Indiana Fever to lose, and they've won. Like the Lynx game, when the Indiana Fever came out and beat them with no Caitlin Clark for the Commissioner's Cup. I was surprised. I didn't think it was going to happen. It happened. Shout out to the Fever. But this is what you should have expected. You should have expected them to get whooped, and that was
The New York Liberty 98-77 just destroyed the Indiana Fever. Due to her groin ailment, Caitlin Clark was only able to observe from the sidelines. Here's the worst part, though. During their post-game press conference, Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart couldn't stop talking about Clark. Then that picture appeared. People, this situation is becoming messy.
Faded the title to this one. Anyhow, there was a photo circulating, went viral, of Caitlin Clark in the bowels of the Barclays Center with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello and Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. I'm just having a little fun.
With all of this public acclaim, do you believe that Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart are consciously attempting to entice Caitlin Clark to the Liberty? This is becoming really crazy, so let me explain what just happened. Caitlin Clark missed Wednesday night's game because of a groin issue, but the New York Liberty trounced the Indiana Fever 98-7. However, rather than simply enjoying their win, Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart talked about Clark as if she were a long-lost comrade for the duration of their post-game press conference. With 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists, Breanna Stewart led the Liberty, followed by Sabrina Ionescu with 15 points and 9 assists. The Fever was completely eradicated by these two. They're sitting there, though, pretending that Clark is the night's biggest news. In fact, the audacity is amazing. Stewart's remarks were quite instructive. She repeatedly brought up Clark and how much she admires her as a player when questioned about the game. She is sitting there handing her flowers as if they were best friends, even though the woman just put up a monstrous stat line against Clark's team. It goes beyond simple sportsmanship. That's the area of recruitment. Ionescu, however, made it even clearer. On a personal level, I'm really happy to see her back out on the court healthy, feeling good, because obviously it's important for them, Ionescu stated in prior remarks following her match against Clark. But I'm glad she's back, simply for her. You shouldn't discuss an opponent in that manner. You should discuss someone you want on your team in that manner. This is when things start to get interesting. Following the game, Sabrina Ionescu and what appeared to be her agent Erin Kane were nearby while Clark was spotted chatting amicably with Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello and star player Breanna Stewart. I'll say it again. There was Clark's agent.
And the agent, that is what makes this so interesting. That is the key. All right, everybody's concentrating on, by the way, Caitlin Clark looks unbelievably happy talking to these folks. But this is how it starts in sports. This is how it starts in the NFL. This is how it starts in the NBA. When you start seeing the wheels in motion, there's signs. There's signs before eventually a player gets traded. A player eventually...
Friendly networking is not enough when agents engage in post-game discussions with opposing teams. All of this acclaim comes at a very dubious time. Consider it. Clark was recently hurt again. After the fever subsided, the Liberty Stars rushed to her aid to offer their congratulations. This is more love than Stephanie White has ever given Caitlin, a fan wrote in a comment. Steph makes a point of never praising CC. There you have it, scathing commentary. Let's take a moment to discuss the game itself. The Liberty easily defeated the Fever, taking a 27-point advantage before settling for a 9,877 victory. Indiana took the lead in the game only once, but after that, it was all New York. This was not even a contest. Ionescu and Stewart, however, are behaving as though they had just seen brilliance from the other bench. When you contrast how the Liberty Stars discuss Clark with how her own organization handles her over it, the differences are striking.
about it, but during the game, Caitlin got honored as the WNBA Player of the Year in the ESPYs. Just what does it mean to have her impact so far? I mean, there are a lot of really good players in this league, and she got honored as the best player in the league by the ESPYs.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she continues to get new awards. She continues to break barriers. She continues to do things that we haven't seen before. I mean, you know, obviously you think about the Stewies, MVPs of the league, and you know, championship winners, and Asia's MVPs of the league and championship winners, and of course Sue Bird, who was sitting, you know, in the building today. And you know, Caitlin is so fortunate, as well as all these guys, really. I mean, that they don't know anything any different than the WNBA. Right, like they've seen their idols play. They work their asses off to get to where they are, and to be able to be honored, whether it's the ESPYs or whether it's league awards or whether it's All-Star or whatever. I just think they continue to then lead the way for the other young players that are watching. So we're proud of Caitlin. You know, ESPY's a big thing, and you know, we're going to continue to support her.
This summer, Clark has missed 10 games of the regular season due to a variety of injuries, and her coach Stephanie White's reactions have been, at best, ambivalent.
What is your description of kind of the physical battle that Caitlin particularly faces, maybe within tonight's game or just in general as you've gotten used to coaching her, just what you see she's enduring physically?
Are you trying to get me fined again?
I am not.
Yeah, I mean, there's a level of physicality that they're able to play with against her. You know, I knew it as an opponent, and I see it as her coach. And you know, I'm not exactly sure why, but it just is what it is. And we've got to help her learn to adjust.
The Liberty Stars, meanwhile, are applauding her in public whenever they can. The way this picture went viral and the responses from fans are what truly illustrate the story. Speculation about possible big movements began right after, with some fans stating, maybe she enjoys being around people who appreciate her. There's a problem when your own supporters start to wonder if they're happy with the other team. The Liberty has handled this problem brilliantly. On the court, they're not the only ones combating the fever. They are methodically demonstrating to Clark what constitutes a well-functioning corporation. Stewart described the wonderful excitement of the crowd from the warm-ups to the finish of the game. Clark deserves that kind of atmosphere and assistance, but Indiana isn't providing it.
And Sabrina, for you, you all have now won 3 in a row, and it just seems like a switch flipped after that Sunday loss against the Storm. I'm just curious, what is it about Sandy's leadership that has helped you all sort of get through the muck of this stretch without JJ, but then also to be able to finish the first half of the season strong?
Well, I mean, there was just this understanding of we got to just find a way and stay together, and we have all we need in the locker room. And, you know, obviously I think we were losing some of those games ourselves. Like, we were just not coming out with the right energy. We were not playing Liberty basketball, and there was kind of just this realization of if we just kind of settle into doing that, we're in a really good spot. And so obviously Sandy continued to keep us together.
Let's talk about the connection between the All-Star game and the elephant in the room. Sabrina Ionescu is on Clark's team, which Sandy Brondello will coach in the All-Star game. However, that doesn't explain why Clark's agent had to be involved in this discussion. Agents don't waste time on logistics for All-Star games. They talk about business. Throughout the season, the Liberty players have consistently praised Clark. Ionescu has regularly purchased flowers for Clark in public, even when she was healthy and performing well against them. This goes beyond simple post-game etiquette. This is the development of strategic relationships. The timing of this crisis is what makes it even more troublesome for the Fever. After sustaining a right groin injury in the closing minute of Tuesday's 85-77 victory over the Connecticut Sun, Clark was declared out of Wednesday's game. She was clearly upset about the injury, and the club that just blasted them away is showing her more love than her own company is. It wasn't just the scoreboard that showed how dominant the Liberty were in this contest. With an incredible effort of 24 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 blocks, Breanna Stewart took the lead. From the bench, Clark was able to observe what championship-level basketball looks like. Everything that is wrong with the present Fever setup is being exposed by the fan reactions to this predicament. Comments like, "Told y'all she's eyeing the Liberty after seeing the photo," were all over WNBA Twitter. An organizational failure occurs when the fan base of another team actively recruits your top player. Here's something about this whole situation really irritates me. The remarks made by the Liberty players seem too well-planned to be sincere. It is not good sportsmanship to beat someone's team by 21 points and then spend your news conference praising their injured star. Psychological warfare is what that is.